Vanakkam, ma'am. Thank you so much for accepting to be with us for the next 60 minutes. This expert talks with Hari has three segments. First segment is all about where did you do your schooling, about your college, your best friends, and favorite faculties who helped you spot the talent in you, all the best happenings of your school and college time. The second one is more focused on the youth and how do we prepare them for the future, which is the theme. The third one is a couple of questions on surprise factor, and then also we'll have some rapid fire. So first, we'll start with your schooling and college. Over to you, man.
Thank you, Harry. Thanks for inviting me for your show today. And I really congratulate you for coming out with such nice experts. And I was listening to your previous talks also. And let me tell you, like, I'm a very simple person. And I was born and brought up in Hyderabad. And my entire education was spent in Hyderabad. Especially, I should say my school was very good. It was Swami Vivekananda Centenary High School, and we had priests and monks coming and giving moral lectures most of the time. I never knew that I have imbibed all these things, and my childhood was completely between my parents. My mother was a firm believer in God, and my father was actually believer in people, I should say. So whoever is familiar with say Telugu literature, they will know Mr. Nagnamuni. He is my father, and he was more for the society. He's a fighter, and he was a revolutionary poet, and it was his actually. Even knew that he was so popular. So my childhood, actually, I should say, we were a very close knit group of people, friends. Even till today, we are connected. And my school, after my schooling, I entered Vanita Mahavidyalaya. So there I have done my say graduation, BCom. My father was more interested in science, actually. He wanted to see me as a doctor, medical doctor, of course. And he tried convincing me to do genetics, at least genetics, if not MBBS. But I was very firm because more than my love for science, I was more frightened about blood. So I had science group in my +1, +2. So that paved the way for my, I think, going away from medicine actually. So dissection and zoology lab, we never saw each other friendly. So I understood my capabilities, and I was able to convince my father that this is not my fault. But then I went into BCom. Then I have done my MCom, and I started my teaching career. That was when actually I had 3 colleagues younger than me. They are very focused and they're very career oriented, very professional. And they convinced me that I have to give a try for JRF. And I appeared for my UGC JRF exam. I never even counted that I'll be selected. But I got selected and I got a fellowship. And under JRF fellowship, I did my PhD in Institute of Public Enterprise. It was a very, very noble institute, and my life took a different turn after I entered Institute of Public Enterprise. And my supervisor, Dr. R.K. Mishra, I'm very thankful to him. He actually ensured that I had the autonomy to do what I really had to do. And I learned how a business school should run from Institute of Public Enterprise. And I had an opportunity to handle executive MBA classes there. And I learned a lot through my students. And students means they were very elderly to me. They were all officer grade people. And actually, it was a very tough, challenging time for me because I was just after finishing my post-graduation, I just started working. But suddenly, I had to be an expert to them and then give guidance to them. It was a different arena altogether. So actually, during my PhD days, I learned a lot about professionalism and what to do, how to do research. And actually, I'm very proud to say that some of my reports which I have prepared were presented to World Bank also through my supervisor. And the Institute of Public Enterprise is a very prominent institute which was doing research for public enterprises. And I was very happy to be part of some of the programs which they were doing that time. And they were doing very much, what should I say, live research was going on related to disinvestment. My topic was impact of disinvestment program in public sector undertakings on Indian economy. And I didn't know the head or tail of how to measure this program. It was such a big program, and it was actually it was a fantastic topic actually. So I had actually a lot of exposure towards what is disinvestment, what goes on there, and how you actually read financial statements. Everything from my guide, I have learned a lot. And parallelly, I had handled, say, part-time courses even for MBA in this Usmania University, Department of BBA. Then I had a lot of exposure, and I was doing this also. I think that's it, Hari. To you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. In this journey, what were the areas where you had some challenges and mainly the lessons learned from that?
Okay. During my study days, I don't think I had many challenges. First challenge, I should say, during my +1, +2, I had taken the science group, and I think it should be in your blood. What you are going to do, it's already in your DNA. You need to just listen to what it says. That's all. So I, by mistake, I have gone into that science group. Then I understood that I'm not there for it. Then I actually come to the right field. I have entered the commerce, then management. But when I was doing my PhD, I had a lot of challenges because I was not in the safer ground anymore. See, whatever I knew, actually I had was a very big challenge for me because IPA regularly does a lot of training programs, and most of the time we used to be the supporting every program which was going on. So I had my co-scholars, and as a team we used to help out with a lot of programs there, as well as teaching assignments. And it was very big challenge for me also because right from teaching youngsters, I suddenly have to teach people who are elder to me, and the two from experts in different areas. They are doing their executive MBS, and that was another bigger challenge for me. And usually we feel that study means from, say, maybe 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock till 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. But in IP, it is not like that. So morning I used to go, then I used to do my research till 5 o'clock. From 6 o'clock onwards, I used to handle classes. And by the time I finish, it used to be sometimes 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock also. And luckily, they used to drop me at home, so I never had a problem for, say, transport and all. But the challenge was in connecting with the students. But I have to really thank God because everything went on very smoothly, and I learned a lot in the process. Yeah. Over to you, Hari.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we move on to the next segment, which is the main theme. How do we prepare youth for the future? When it comes to this complete topic, when we see it, there are different areas. First, about their limiting beliefs, helping them understand about how they have to embrace what's happening with them, whether it's up peaks or valleys, ups or downs. So I would request you to please shed light on those areas, ma'am. Over to you.
Okay, Hari. In my career, I have seen, I should say, like a transition in how a student thinks also. See, today when we teach, actually, I see a lot of gaps. We are talking about, see, on one end, industry is talking about saying that they don't have the right candidates. And on this side, we are seeing supply side, we are seeing, say, students who are graduates, but they lack actually somewhere. They are down the lane, they feel that everything has to come to them. You need to work for what you are going to get. And that maturity is very much lacking. I should say very few of them come with the focus to the studies. Now, study is not a certificate. at any point of time. Study is like what how you understand your inner calling and how you develop that, and how what you can give back to the society. At the same time, you learn, you get something back. So actually, I see that the current youth, somewhere, majority I should say, but minority are still there who are very focused and who are learning and who are getting and who are becoming successful in whatever they are doing. But majority, what I'm seeing is they don't understand that they have to work very hard. There is no shortcut for hard work. And unless you are prepared to do hard work, and you need to focus on your inner capabilities, what you are made of, what makes you happiness. Because I feel that you have to search happiness within yourself. What makes you happy? What when what activity you are doing, you are the most happiest. Now that can be a hobby. Today youngsters are very very lucky because today hobbies give them salaries, and hobby can become their career, their profession. So they need to just understand in a nutshell what actually they want to do. So this I see lacking in youth. And for that, I think they have to rebuild themselves, their value systems, and then they have to understand what exactly they want to achieve in life, where they want to. Because there is a lot of gap between where they want to go and what they are having and what they are investing in. Because it is not just like that it will come. Your success will not come like that. So for getting success, it is very, very important that you need to prioritize what you are learning today, what you are getting in today, and how much time you are spending on rebuilding yourself. Because unless you do inner engineering, you will not be able to reach whatever you want to get. And today there are a lot of say avenues where if they spend a little time, they will be able to understand and they will be able to get help. Today, I think internet is one teacher, I think which teaches everything to them. So they need not even search too far. They need to just see what they really like. When they do say when they do MBA, I do find that one thing is language. Language is very, very crucial. So language, I know that it is very difficult to learn in 1 year or 2 years. It's not. But actually, there is a starting step for everything. So they have to decide. See, if you want to, say, get placed in an MNC and you want to work, then definitely language plays a very important role. But if you want to go into sales and you want to go into local sales, maybe the prioritization can be different. So you have to decide which niche you really want to go, and you have to work for that. And I see another thing that is really lacking is, see, it doesn't matter to the industry whether you are a topper or an average performer or a non-performer. Entry level academics play an important role, but after you enter, it is exactly what you are which really makes you stay there. So for that, it is very important that you need to know how to focus and commitment, consistency. And sometimes I feel sad when I look at this youth also, because many of them have a lot of baggages, emotional baggages. Unless they shed those baggages, they will not be able to go forward. Most of the time, they feel called by a lot of pressures at home, and perceptions also differs. See, in life, life is very short. Unless you understand what makes you happy and you go after that, happiness will not come in search of you. And today, being happy, I think COVID teaches all of us, and it taught also. You say that the other person should be happy, the other person should be comfortable, then automatically it will take care of yourself. And self, the direction that you give to it, it depends only on your self-confidence, your self-image, and your perception. So you should have your inner, you should adjust your inner mirror in such a way that you are able to see the real you, and you build up whatever is actually has to be done. And this maturity, until and unless they are able to get it, say before they reach the 25-year milestone, I should say, it will be very difficult for them, because after they quit the college, they will get placed They will go somewhere, they will start working some work, and then by the time they reach to this conclusion, life would have passed them on. So it will becomes a very tough game afterwards. So it is not like college. College is where they are pampered, and after college they expect the industry also to pamper them, but that is where they are going wrong. So unless they do this correction, self correction, it will be very difficult for them to go forward. So I really feel that all the youth should really feel where they want to go. They have to sit, they have to decide what they are going to do, and then pursue it. They should not do anything just because their neighbors told, their brothers told, their parents told, and all. They have to decide for themselves what really they want to do, because unless they believe in what they are doing, they will not invest money, or they will not invest their time or energy in that. Yeah. What do you, Hari?
Very well said, ma'am. Because once they are not clear with what they really want to do, or if they don't find a calling or the bliss point of what they like, what they're really good at, thing which solves a society's issue or a problem, and they get compensated for that, where all these four intersects, and that bliss point, if they're not comfortable or if they do not know how they have to reach there, as you said, like they probably will be in that restless stage where they keep moving or hopping from one company to the company, which we see before. It used to be at least 3 years in one company. Now it's a few months and people keep hopping. Next question is, uh, okay, I have a good intent. I've thought about it. I've read the course. I've done my training. I've done my project. I liked it. I want to do this. I start working. And after a year or so, I feel that this is not for me. So what do you suggest for people in this area, ma'am? Like, they start with thinking that this is what they want to do, but then when they actually do the work, because most of the time what we do in college and what is expected in the industry, sometimes there'll be a little bit of, like, thinking on our own feet, and then uh, meeting daily challenges, and then improvising on what we studied is required. Sometimes here there is a gap where they feel like, okay, I'm a fresher, I need to be guided, but this is expected from me and I do not want to fit in the shoe. I want to look at other options. So and most of them in that category end up with startups. What I've seen from many colleges now, they get into the workforce, they start working, they see how it is suiting their lifestyle, and if it is not matching or the alignment is not correct, then they immediately come and start. So, how do you see this trend of jumping from workplace to starting their own ventures now?
Actually, Hari, I have seen some of my students, I could see in your query, actually. But
Hmm.
what I feel is, see, age plays a very important role. See, when you are a 25-year-old or a 23-year-old and freshly you finish your graduation and you are there, say, for 6 months or 1 year, and you find out that, say, this is not my cup of tea, then you are very lucky, very, very lucky. Some people actually will be there just trying to compromise on their happiness, and again they will be continuing for 5 years or 10 years down the lane, and then they'll find one fine day they will wake up and they'll feel that, okay, this is not what I want to do anymore. Now I feel age decides. The minute you cross your 25 years, there are a lot of expectations from the family, pressures will start mounting, and unfortunately or fortunately, if they are married, then the pressures multiply. So this is where actually you need a monthly paycheck. So for that, you need to work. And I feel that first priority should be going for, say, once if you have family pressures, you will have to ensure that you have a paycheck every month. And the second point I feel is, still you if you are able to find out that you have a passion towards certain things, it may be art, it may be dance, it may be music, it may be anything, whatever other than what you are doing, then in that case I feel that they have to invest at least 20 to say 30% of their income in that, and then become an expert and make it a hobby. Because unless you feel happy with yourself, it will be very, very difficult to continue. Even for compromise, you need to actually feel that what you are doing is right, and what you are doing is giving you that happiness. Again, that is what I'm saying right from the starting. You should concentrate on your inner happiness, not because outside people are clapping you or they are honoring you or anything like that. That is transitory, that is momentary. But your inner happiness will stay with you throughout your life. So you have to ensure that you are happy. Suppose you are 30-year-old or a 35-year-old, and suddenly you find out that, say, you are not happy anymore, and find what is making you happy. But don't directly jump from completely from a known ground into an unknown ground. So this is again my perception. Actually, I am more into, I'm a person who really don't take too much of risk. So I understand people when they feel that it is too risky shifting from one perspective to another perspective, or one vertical to another vertical. But still, they have to invest. If suppose they have any idea that they are going to be happy, then 100% they have to go there, but preparedly. They have to prepare themselves, and then they have to go. For that time, they need something to give them back, at least to sustain. So that is where I feel they should not go back, and again they have to lean on their parents again for money. Especially money plays a very important role here. If you can afford to, then on the spot you can shift from one vertical to another vertical, no problem at all. I think so.
Okay. And also the other point which you really hit the nail on it, the boiling frog syndrome, where they wait. The story which the frogs are in a container where the water keeps boiling, and then this one which cannot resist immediately jumps out. The other one keeps accepting it. It comes to a stage where it feels the heat, and but it's too weak now to jump out of the pot. So I'm able to relate when you said, like, when it is you're over 30 or 35, then you decide at that point to jump. It might be a bit late. Of course, you can start what you want to do at any age, but the risk level and then the dependency, commitments, family, all these factors are there. Thanks. The next area which I want to touch is a lot of people opt uh, to go outside India for research. With the current scenario of what's happening with COVID and lockdown, and where a lot of countries have decided not to have people at least for a few more months or for a couple of years, and on the other side introducing a lot of online courses. What we see uh, from Switzerland, a lot of universities have started, and I saw Harvard coming up with done a lot of lot of courses. uh, with the way we are traveling, how do you see the research scenario, and why mainly I'm touching this area, ma'am? The main reason people go out, especially to US and to other countries in Europe, is for research. Now, we also saw on the other side where a lot of innovations are coming in India, which could have happened in 5 years, are happening in 5 months, and have happened in less than 5 months. So, will this need or a demand push our education system to have more research oriented approach, or how do you see the pattern progressing now?
Actually, I see COVID teaching all of us a lot of different things. Suddenly, we became different. Suddenly, every teacher in every nook and corner, every school, they are teaching online. They are forced to teach online, and all the students who might not even have afforded a say mobile. Now they are having a mobile. They would have borrowed or they would have purchased or whatever it is. Now today, you see, online education is not such a feat, I should say today. So today, COVID has taught almost everybody across the world, I should say across the globe, that say the distance has come down. Okay, so the world is in your say laptop or a mobile. Now, literally, we are seeing it. We are seeing classrooms. We are seeing actually laboratories. We are seeing everything that can be done in mobile today. So that is one fact. But I don't think say people leaving India for research, the number will come down, because always that physical touch always reaches. Even my students also, I give an advice that if it is possible and if they can afford, every person has to travel the world and come back. Then they will understand the value of India, their own home country, more. See, you see the value of India now. When you are in India, you may not be able to see. But when you go outside, your perspective changes, your mirror changes. So when you look at India, that will be completely different. Now, when I think people have a fascination towards other countries, that fascination, I don't think it will so easily come down. Once the ban lifts and then all the countries open up, I'm sure that a lot of people still leave. That is one aspect is education. The another one is say the ease with which you study there is different. And maybe I feel during this COVID time also, I am 100% sure many students would have actually accessed the free certifications and free courses that were being offered by most of the universities. So they became familiar with these courses. So I think at least partially, it may be a blended type of a study they might go for. But definitely that fascination will not come down. And I do feel that they need that exposure. Everybody needs that exposure. See, they have to go outside, they have to see what it is. Maybe they need not settle there. If they don't want to, they can come back to India, they can give more to the country. But if you are in India, it doesn't matter whether you are say in India or not, because today digital education has brought everything to the houses. So I feel the number might not come down in the long run. Short run, yes. Short run, because too many say barriers are there. So I think people also will fear. That fear factor always plays an important role, especially during this pandemic. So mobility may be a little restricted, but I do feel that long term it will go back to the same. And in between that time, this digital will take over.
The other thing, ma'am, like, accepting setbacks or accepting failures or accepting uh, what they didn't expect when they do something, and once accepting it and looking for another option or changing the strategy, that seems to be reducing, or the level of tolerance seems to be a little bit, especially now in COVID scenario with youngsters. How do we see that that can be improvement? Because of course there is this thing like, every generation tells the younger generation needs to improve and all those things, that is there. But then I want to know, like, why this kind of restlessness has happened. Is it because of uh, over usage of mobile phones, or what has made them to be so much restless and not able to accept things when it is not in their favor, failures especially?
No, I think I have to trace a lot of things which are happening across, I think, generations. As you are saying, I belong to a different generation, and you belong to a different generation. But I feel that not economy, especially in our families also. You can see that, say, joint families are gone. Now, joint family system, even though it gave a lot of headaches, but still it was the backbone for many of the families. So kids usually they used to love their grandparents. They used to learn to understand the world from their laps. Now that is gone. So you have working parents. Now, child who is left with, say, a nanny or in a crèche. Now, what do they learn? They don't learn much. See, the bonding between the parents, bonding between the say grandparents, that is missing now today. So I can't say that, because I myself am working. I won't say that women working is a problem, but actually there was a gap and that is created. There was a vacuum there. So they needed somebody who is taking care of this moral education of the children. So in those days, I'll just give you a small comparison. In those days, we used to have that backup system where you have a joint family, and where you are not the pampered say child most of the time. So even if you want to buy something, you have to wait, you have to save, and then you have to get it. So you know the value of what you are getting. Now today we are living in a system where it is a use and throw system. Now these things actually will have an impact on, like, your working style also. So when children come from disturbed families, see, disturbed families in the sense, suppose, say, most of the cases I have seen, say kids are having problems where say mother and father are about to be separated, or they have continuous quarrels, or they are biased towards the children. So these things, what happens is they create certain uncertainty in the child's mind. So when they come, they don't know how to face when suddenly something goes wrong. See, we read most of the time that whenever results are out, say especially 10th results as well as plus 2 results
Yes,
are
right.
80 results and all, you see that a lot of kids, at least some part of it, some percentage of kids, they attempt or they commit suicides. Now this is because their inner balance is off. That means either the mother or the father, they'll be saying, they'll be attaching too much importance on education. See, education is not life. Education is not life. Education is part of life. Now education is supposed to make you a good person. So good person, even without education you can become, but unfortunately you have to earn your bread. Most of us have to earn our bread. Then in that case you need to ensure that your inner balance is not swept. That balance, that uh, comes with the maturity, and that comes with self acceptance. If you are able to accept your faults as well as your plus points, then that will nothing will move you. But being human beings, we always tend to give more attachment towards either grief or, I should say, happiness. So these kids, when they come from a disturbed or a broken family, when they come outside and they start seeing the world through their parents' eyes or their, so whoever is there, that those eyes, they get the same perceptions, and they will also look through the same distorted mirrors. So what happens is, when something happens, they will not see it as their own personal failure. They will feel what my parents will feel if this result is going to them. So they are unable to face their own parents or their expectations. So because of this, they will feel that death is very easy compared to living and going in front of their parents and say that, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not able to get, or I'm sorry, I was not able to pass the exam. Now, this requires a lot of mentoring. That is why this coaching, mentoring, and all these things are, that words are catchy today. But unfortunately, this has to come from the home. Now, I see a lot of students today also. I meet them, and I actually meet them in my room. All the students, whoever comes, I really meet them. I really spend some time with each child, and I'll try to find out what exactly are you? What makes you tick? What makes you happy? How many people are there? Whom do you love? And what do you want to become after this is over? Because at least somebody should be there to care about them. And I have seen the way people react, that students react to teachers who are caring. That is, you cannot measure it actually. So I feel that there should be a caring environment in every college, and there should be a bonding between the teacher and the student. Now, to some extent, at least, we are able to protect them, and we are able to make them ready for failures. See, always if you give a child whatever they like, suddenly if a child doesn't get something, then it is shocked. So it is coming out of it. Instead of that, we should teach them that failures and successes are sometimes you are happy, sometimes you are sad. See, nothing stays permanently. If you are happy today, extremely happy today because you got something, you have achieved something, it doesn't stay. After that moment is over, again you go back to your vacuum. So that is why we should not be very happy when everything is going on well. At the same time, we should not be very sad when everything is going down also. So I usually try to tell them, but I see that youngsters have to see this, and they need not read any literature and all. They need to just read the life and understand their parents and their grandparents. See, this acceptance. Now, this is the beauty of psychology. You need to understand, and if you understand yourself, nobody needs to tell you anything. But unfortunately, these youngsters need to understand, and they have to be mature. And with a balanced mind, if they go into their working environment, what they can actually contribute to the company as well as to the society at large will be different. Now, if something happens and they are unable to face, what is happening is today there are a lot of doors open for them. Now they can go and drink, they can go and get obsessed about something else, they can go and commit suicide, they can go and do a lot of avenues are open for them, unfortunately. And they learn about them more than what they learn about success. How they can make themselves more successful in life. This is very, very important. So I feel that students, some of them are there, very focused. Again, I'm telling you, there is a percentage of students who are very, very focused at a very young age. They know what they want, they like what they like, and they are able to convince their parents. They are doing everything. See, there is only very simple rule. If you don't like what you are doing, there are two ways in which you can react. Either you accept everything, go ahead with it, but still give your 100%, or you just go out and you follow whatever makes you happy and give your 100%. So whether you are doing what you don't like, or whether you are doing what you love, either way, giving 100% is crucial. You have to give the best try, you have to give your best effort, and you have to try your limit. You should not say that I don't like this, so let me not study. I don't like this, so let me just this is procrastination, nothing else. Keep on postponing doing certain things because you don't love them, you don't like them. And especially in teaching, we face a different situation. See, it's like they love a teacher, so they fall in love with the subject. This is one way of going ahead. They don't like a subject, so they don't like the teacher also. So this is another attitude also we see. So a lot of things we usually see, but most of the time teaching is see, the beauty of teaching is this: you touch everyone's lives. Most of the people who come to you, but you have to understand that they need these things more than the education, more than the teaching and lecturing. They need somebody to listen to them, somebody to tell them this is right, do this is not right, so why don't you do something else. So this sort of advice they look for. But when the parents are giving the same advice, parents also they're the, I should say that parents are the first people who will be very, very happy if a child becomes successful. But when a parent gives at the background of so many experiences, so students may not actually take it in the right way. So I feel that coaching and mentoring, I think in almost all colleges, they are doing it, and there are caring teachers. And when you see the children going and saying that I'm sorry, I'm upset today, I want to talk to you, I think that is the day. I should say that they are on the way to their recovery. Yes, Hari.
Thank you, ma'am. Another area which I want to touch is one is about this embracing failures, and the other thing is coming up with alternative plans, or coming up with once their intent is there, they've thought about it, they believe that they'll be able to do it, and then if it's not the way they expected, okay, this depression, or feeling bad about themselves, we touched on that. Now they achieve what they've planned to achieve or what they expected, but moving on from that, keeping this as a base, and then instead of a continual growth, there is also this pattern of like once they achieve, they stay there and they get stuck with it, and then they keep dwelling about it for the next 5 years and 8 years. Then they realize, okay, it's too late for us to be in the scenario or in the place where much more is required. Very clearly, it is evident that what we study after 6 months or 8 months, it's slowly becoming not relevant, and we have to keep ourselves updating. So please explain on those areas, ma'am.
Relevancy or irrelevancy, again, we go back to ourself. Whatever I'm telling you, the inner balance that you need to, that is very, very crucial, Hari. I want to achieve, say, something like I want to get the best job in the say campus. I got it. Afterwards, maintenance takes a lot of things. That maintenance requires you to be more balanced, more than when you enter, actually. That is where I'm saying that inner engineering is very, very crucial. You need to understand what are your say strengths and what are your weaknesses. This is very, very important. You have to work on your weaknesses so that when you are entering, there is nobody else. See, before you enter, you will have a lot of people, but once you enter an organization, or for that matter, even he can start a startup also. See, again, you will be going back on say teamwork. Now, when you are falling back on the team, see, usually a team also will have a lot of players, team members will be there. And when you are contributing something only, everybody will contribute, and together there is a synergy that is possible. But as a person, if you have achieved something, you cannot always say that I have got a great job. What is it? Everybody is getting. Most of the people who really try will get. So this is where actually they have to understand that success is important, but maintaining success takes a lot of inner strength. Now that inner strength will come only with self-confidence, and self-confidence will come only with accepting who you are and what you are and as you are. See, okay, no one need to be perfect. No one need to be perfect. At the same time, you need not always say. So you start learning from anybody, whoever is giving you some advice. See whether it is reaching you or not, whether it is applicable to you or not. Take it. Shouldn't matter. Now, this sort of attitude when you are getting, I really call it as adaptability or adapting or surviving, whatever word you are using. It is very, very important, integral. Because once you say you leave your house and come outside, you are leaving a safer ground where you have grown up and you know everything inside. So once you go into a stranger area, it may be an office, it may be a college, or it may be a school, or whatever it is, whatever area, unless you mingle with others and you try to make yourself blend with them, nothing will work out. So whether you are going to be a success or a failure, it is decided with how you are actually aligning yourself with the environment. Now, this adaptability comes only when you are able to understand how others are also feeling. Again, we are entering another area which is called as empathy. Now, unless you empathize with the other person and you actually go and say mingle with them, understand their pain points, then they will try to understand your pain points. This is almost like a give and take. So this inner balance is very, very crucial once you started working. Now you achieve something, it doesn't stop there. See, once you achieve something, it's like Maslow's theory. Once you finish, say, achieving, something else will come out. So always, when you are actually keeping goals, you should not always stop yourself after you reach a goal. You should not say that my entire now I am very happy. So I have achieved whatever I want to achieve. Now I can take rest and enjoy. Now that sort of thing means you are dead. You will not be able to say grow up, or because the learning curve is continuous. It doesn't stop anywhere. So always you will have to go, and the roles you are playing will change, keep on changing. So you have to do justice to every role that you are playing. So in that you may have to compromise a lot, and sometimes you may get back a little more. So this say equation goes on. So life is like a cycle. So always when you are achieving, you should always know that some point might come where you may have to go down. So you should always know that whenever you are happiest, you should know that it will not stay there. It will go down. Then whenever you are down, you should always remember that always there is a upscale. So definitely your happiest moment is about to come. So life is like a cycle. It is like a waves. So most of the time I see some of them, not all. Again, I'm saying there are people who are actually balanced, but there are some people who actually feel that I have done my work, I have done my job, now I'm settled. So let me enjoy. Now this sort of attitude is their downfall. There's nothing to say. Instead, what they have to do is they have to continuously do certain things which make them happy. So actually, say dancing. Once I reach a particular stage, I should not stop. I should go to the next. Maybe next, maybe next. So you should always have achievable goals one after the other. That keeps life interesting. So that is why you should have multiple hobbies, and even if you have 2-3 hobbies which actually are not interrelated also, no problem. As long as you can manage, I think you should have a lot of hobbies, and you should have passions, and you should work for them. And you should, if your hobby is your profession, excellent. I don't think you'll be happy with one achievement. You'll be striving for continuous achievements. Yes, Hari.
Thanks, ma'am. With this, we move on to the next stage. There are different questions in this. Like, you can tell, according to you, what you think would be the definition. Okay, first one would be, according to you, what is life?
Life is like up and down. It is like a cycle. Just now I was telling you, it's like a sea waves.
Okay, next one is define when you know happiness.
Suppose I am singing and I'm feeling very happy. That is a feeling that that is coming inside you. You have to realize it. Sometimes you give to others, that will make you happy. Okay, most of the time what happens, because teaching is very integral to me, I feel that more than teaching, reaching out is important. So when you reach a person and when you are able to make the other person smile when they are really going through bad times, I think that is happiness.
Next is what is success to you?
If I am happy, that is success. It doesn't require anything. If I am happy, that is successful. That is why I'm saying my entire thing goes around happiness, inner happiness. If I'm happy, my world is smiling at me. If I'm not happy, world will not smile at you. So even if I success, material successes will not matter anything to us.
Okay, okay, okay. Ma'am, what are the three things you feel a person definitely should possess to be more happy and successful?
I think we have discussed some of them. People should be aligned with the environment. I think I should say adaptability and networking is very important, Hari. Very, very important. I think I cannot undermine the importance of networking. Networking, not because you are going to need somebody, you should not network. You should network because you are really curious about people. You really are interested because every life teaches us something. See, either it may be how to do certain things or it may be how not to do certain things. Either way, teaching will be there, learning will be there. So you should be curious about people and you should understand them. Then those lives will tell you which no textbook can give you, no teacher can tell you. So experiences are different. So I feel that that is one thing. Network plays a very, very important role. And unless you are able to actually align yourself with your environment, then always you will remain aggressive. And because you are always trying to protect yourself rather than be bending with others. If you will see in certain kids, like when they are playing, so the entire, even to an outsider, it might seem as if the entire, say, group is ganging up against a particular child. And we feel why this child is actually pointed out and why they are all playing against him. But actually, it's a learning on its own. So the child has to learn how to actually relate to the entire say group. Now, after some days, if you just silently watch from the sidelines, you will see that the child is able to mingle with the others. Now, this alienation, unless this adaptability is there, it is very, very difficult to find, and you will always be a loner at heart. And all lonely hearts, they usually are, they suffer a lot in life. That is one. And another thing is, say, you need to compromise a lot, because sometimes when you are in a company and you feel that, usually we in literally speaking, we say these are all norms, say group norms, we call it as. See, when you enter a group or a team, or I should say professionally we use the word team, informally we use the word groups. Now whenever you enter a group and you are the first time when you are meeting them, then how you relate to them, how you are making and how you are listening to them, these things actually tell about yourself to the group. Now if they like what actually the vibes that you are giving them, they will immediately join you. Now what happens is, if suppose instead of listening to them or trying to see what they are doing, you jump around with both the legs and then you start asserting yourself, then on the spot the group will alienate you. Now, for this, whether you like or not, you may have to give some compromises because you want to belong. Now, when you belong to a team, then that ownership will come. That will give you a lot of self-confidence. Now, for this, continuously you may have to evolve. See, it may not be like, see, you have a childhood, say, group circle of friends. Now, when you are with them, you will be different. Now, when you meet your college mates after some time, how you are with them will be different. Now, when you enter your office, you have your colleagues. How you are with them will be different. So, unless you are able to make yourself mingle with the group that you are, how you are evolving, say, professionally as well as personally, unless you do that, it will be very, very difficult for you to belong. Unless you belong, see, your inner energies should not be spent only in fighting the others. They should be spent in understanding yourself, and on them you need to build your relationships. See, if you have the team at the back of you, you need not worry about them. You worry about what you have to do and then your goals that you have to meet. But if suppose the team is against you, then most of your time you will not be spending on your work. You will be spending on how to actually take care of yourself from your team. So most of the time energy is wasted if you have negative feelings towards the team. So you have to continuously evolve, and I think that is self evaluation is very very important when you have to belong, and adaptability more or less is the same. And networking is very 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 crucial. Now, today, it is not like you are looking for godfathers or godmothers. No, no. It is like you need to understand that there is somebody there. See, when I was doing my PhD, I registered under Dr. say R.K. Mishra in Institute of Public Enterprise. And one fine day, he said, Yamuna, you are going to say have a co-guide, and he is from say Department of Management Studies. So he is going to be there. He is the dean there. I said, sir, why I need another guide? I don't need. He said only one simple thing. He said, no, Yamuna, you need somebody because you are registered in that department. You need somebody to tell you what is to be done. It is not like godfathership because I do my hard work and he is there to guide me. So then I understood certain things, but I didn't like it at that time. That is different. But when I actually, after so many years, when I look back, I see the wisdom in that. See, you need to know a person. It is not like they need to do a lot of service to you or some sort of exchange, but you need to know people. You need to be curious about people. They may or may not be useful for you. So you should not be calculating always, okay, if I know this person, I can get so many benefits. I can get a shortcut into certain things. No, that should not be the way in which you should network. But networking is very important. It may be down, it may be same level, it may be upper level. Whatever level you are saying, you need to actually network with people. I feel these three, I feel every person should have in order to at least get this inner peace.
Thank you so much, ma'am. A lot of areas have been explained, much needed. We have one of the viewers, Miss Vatsala Maslamani. She's from Bain School. She has written the inspiring message. I only wish many youngsters watch this and get the most out of this. Uh, Most of the areas which you touched are much needed, not just during COVID or not just during crisis, in general in life. And a lot of areas which you actually shed light on now, I've heard as a student of you in college, so I can reflect on many areas where you have touched and how important it is in life. Uh, are there any closing remarks from you, ma'am? Before that, I have one question. One is, if you sum up all your uh, days, consider if life as a book and your all the pages, if I sum it up, what's one topmost thing you would consider as your learning, life's lesson? What is it?
Networking.
Network.
Networking.
Network. Okay.
I learned and I understood it. Actually, it is not a word that everybody will teach you.
Mhm.
It will not come with teaching actually. It should come with your genuine friendliness, that's all, nothing else. But I understood the importance of it.
Networking. Okay.
My research, as I was telling you,
Mhm.
and maybe my influence of my father also was on me.
Mhm.
As I was
Mhm.
telling you, actually, I'm the daughter of Rishi Kesavara, and he is a very renowned poet. His pen name was Nagnamuni, and he started several movements actually. He was a very revolutionary poet, and he was actually very, very popular for his aggressive sort of writing style.
Mhm.
And his books are they are translated into many foreign languages, and they are actually textbooks in many universities. But as a person, I because he was my father, I can look at him only as from the eyes of a child only. So he's a father to me. So father means normal person. So he always taught me a lot of things, and he was very good with this particular say attribute. Say I should
Okay.
say networking, and both youngsters as well as people elder to him, both the generations used to love him a lot most of the time. So I could see that say maybe unconsciously it has imprinted on my mind. I don't know, but I think that networks networking summits. And I tell most of the students also, this is the most admirable quality.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. A lot of information in your own signature style, where you have helped help us understand with a lot of areas and connecting them in a sequential order, so people could relate and remember, and at the same time also realize how important it is for their life to go to keep progressing in their life. Are there any closing remarks from you, ma'am, for the message to the world?
I think so. Today we are going through a lot of challenges, Harry. In the world, we see environmental degradation is happening on one. I think COVID is equalizing everything. I think now it has set back the eco balance. I think ecological balance is set right. But I feel that most of us, I think, most of us feel frustrated sitting at home. But we don't understand the damage we are doing to the environment. So I feel that inner self, because I still remember there was one program when this lady came, say from Scope International, and she was the vice president, and Miss Hema. She came and she was talking about, say, uh, what should I say, like garbage. And all the students were really, say, very much taken aback. Why she is talking about this. Then she was actually telling, and I really admired what message she has given us. See, one of the students asked, "Ma'am, how can we change the entire world? We cannot change. Everybody throws garbage only on the road because they ensure that their homes are clean. So outside, whatever happens, they are not related to that." Then she was telling, "See, here there are around 300 students are there. See, change always happens from within. So these 300 students go back. You ensure that this is not done in your houses. So that at least takes care of around 300 houses. Then you tell whomever you meet. So you cannot change the entire world, but change can start at least from somewhere. So I feel that inner engineering, or I should say inner change, is very, very important. And when we are, say, we build our character and we try to be good and we try to be a good citizen and a good person, a family person, whatever roles we are doing, we are good at it. I feel that the other person also feels the same. See, when you go on being negative, the other person also tries to defend. So so the communication will not go straight. So instead, I feel that you have to look inside. So a lot of changes that are happening. See, these are all results of our habits, personal habits. See, I go outside, I buy something, some snacks, I eat, and I throw it on the road and go. Now, who is going to pick up? Now, next day morning, some lady or some gentleman will come cleaning the roads, and then they'll have to pick it up. Suppose they don't come, it will be on the road. Now, like me, so many people are doing, then what is going to happen? Nothing. So it is just my habit. If I just change my habit and drop it in a, say, dustbin and go, what's going to happen? Nothing much. That means change always is inside, Hari. Inside yourself, you have to change how you are talking to people, how you are approaching solutions. See, solutions will not come just like that. You will have to see what is the problem, analyze the problem, and how you react to the problem will make your solution good or bad. So always I feel that internally, when you know yourself, when you know your strength, then I think that's it. So I feel everybody has to build their self. Yes, sir.
On what grounds do you see, ma'am, like, these things which are happening now, there
Hmm.
are also certain, uh, there's a rise of depression and all those things happening throughout the world because of
Yes, 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 yes.
COVID, and then the many multiple layers are there, economic crisis, and then the other things are happening on the family level. These areas, any tips on, especially for the youngsters, ma'am, like in this, few key tips which you could share, ma'am, just for the this period to be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No hurry. When I mean
Right.
self-engineering, I feel what am I giving back? So that actually decides the equation. See, when I'm say I start working, okay. Now, if I'm going to say cheat on the company and I'm not doing what exactly I my say designed roles are, then I'm not only cheating them, I'm cheating myself. So if my character is such that I give 100% whatever I'm doing, then definitely it is going to make say world set right. Because I feel that inner engineering and the way say we are looking for solutions outside is completely different. Now today a lot of scientists are going for say finding out say some remedy for this COVID, right? Vaccine. Almost most of the companies are working for it. Now nobody told them that you need to look for it. See, it may be a business sense, but most of the time they have seen what suffering is going on, and they started to do something else. Now I see a lot of kids have come out, lot of innovation is happening, and a lot of say technology also is developing at the same time. Now solutions, how they will come? Only when you think differently, solutions will start coming. And same way, personal habits of people also will make it. Today, why COVID is spreading so fast? Now, you need to understand that, see, when certain things are not to be done, you will have to ensure that you are safe, at the same time, the other person is also safe. So, when you start caring for what is happening to the other person, definitely change will come, and it will translate to animals also and environment also. So, how you do business, if it is different, why we are saying, see, I still remember, see, on my passing of my 10th standard, my grandma purchased a watch for me, which was made by HMT. Now, till today, I still keep it as her memory. Now, why? Same way, today, if I buy something, then is there any guarantee that it will run just like that for 40 years, 50 years, or maybe 60 years, a lifetime? Then why it is not being done? See, this is what actually we say. See, the understanding of business is completely different today. So once upon a time, it was based on trust. It was based on confidence, and blindly people used to buy. If it is say Tata, it is HMT and all. See, there are some brands which you blindly believe in. So brand building and the value system goes together. They go hand in hand. So I feel that if you are such a person, then definitely you will search for and you will give your 100%. I feel that change will come only from small moments, not bigger moments. So inner self, if you are able to re-engineer, and the way you are looking at, say, world is different, maybe you will be able to influence a little bit. And slowly, if like us, many people are going to drive, definitely I feel that a better India is there. And I know my students, one set of students, actually I'm telling you, I see a lot of things youngsters are doing, which was marvelous. I was continuously talking about people who are depressed and all. I have seen people who reach out to old age homes without even informing me. Directly they will go, they will adopt old age homes, and they were doing services to them. And I remember what your batch also has done. You remember, Hari? You have say actually come out with a
Yes, yes, ma'am.
theme song, and you have given it to a old elderly house. No, I think orphanage it was. So
Hmm.
lot of things when you people do at a student level, that will stay in your mind, because the happiness that you feel when you are doing certain things to others, if you give priority to that, when you become an employee and you are playing influencer for certain decisions. So what makes you beyond business? See, business, if you really understand, it is taking care of customers' needs. Now, if you have value system and ethics kicked in, now there is no stopping you. So that way, I mean that my message to usually these youngsters will be: make yourself sober, but at the same time, you need to understand that you have to take care of your family, because family is everything today. Tomorrow, whether you are having a job, you don't have a job, whether you are working, you are not working, everything will be borne only by your families. So I want everybody to concentrate on their families, take care of them, because they are the pillars on which you are going to lean on. So if you show good relationships with them and you be a good person both to the family as well as to the society, I feel that say our society will be different tomorrow. I already see a lot of changes. A lot of people are there, a lot of youngsters are doing, but still there is a lot of the connectivity that needs to be done.
Thank you so much, ma'am. With the theme which we took, which is much relevant now of all the time, the areas you have covered is definitely something which they could refer to this video in YouTube wherever they have any doubts or wherever they need some reference. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am, and definitely more students will definitely be benefited by seeing this video. Thank you.
Thank you, Han. Thank you.
That was Dr. Yamuna, ma'am. She was my faculty and inspiration to many students like me, where she has helped people understand in a very simple manner, but at the same time giving all contents which is really deep and the depth level which could be sometimes realized after a couple of years when certain situation comes. So she has been in all my ups and downs wherever I've seen successes or failures or areas of improvement. She's always been there and a person who I can lean on whenever I need an advice. I'm happy that she was able to allocate time today to share her knowledge and her experience through her kind words today. I'm really grateful for that. Thank you so much for watching, and we definitely will bring more powerful and important people with importance. When I say importance, like with a conviction, who are able to impact the society more and more with this Srishti TV expert talks with Hari. We also have quite a few interesting personalities for this week lined up, ranging from film industry all the way to animation. So wait and watch. You'll be definitely happy that you allotted 1 hour time to see this show. Thank you.